All right, so now we have completed our first equation in our system, and now we're going to move on to the second sentence so that we can get our second equation for the system, and then we can solve it. So now I'm going to look at the words in the second sentence. So now I know that I need to find the word that's going to turn into the equal sign, and that word is or was or total. And when I'm reading, I see is, which tells me that is where the equal sign goes in my equation. The reason why I left a little space is because you see all these English words? Some of these words are going to turn into symbols and numbers like they did in our first sentence. So I'm going to look. Okay, remember, the, of are not words that matter as far as turning into a symbol or number. Neither is rectangle because I already know the shape, so I don't need it anymore. So the only word I have left is length, and I've got to think, am I going to turn that into a number or a symbol like a variable? And since I don't know a number for the length, I have to use a symbol, and we picked the symbol L, the variable L, to represent length. All right, now I'm going to go after 4 more than. If you have 4 more than somebody, have you added, subtracted, divided, or multiplied by 4? If you're 4 more than, you have added 4. So 4 more than means I'm going to show addition by 4. And I always put addition and subtraction at the end because, guys, order and subtraction matters. So you don't want to have to think of when does it go at the end, when is it not, when does order matter. So if you always put what you are more than or less than after something, you are never going to get it in the wrong order. So now I'm going to say, okay, I've got 4 more than. Now I need to look at the rest of the English words. Twice. If you are twice something, mathematically, what operation have you performed? You have multiplied. And you've got to think, what number have you multiplied if you are twicing something? You are multiplying by 2. And what are we multiplying by 2? The width. So I have to write a number and a symbol to show that I am multiplying the width by 2. So I'm going to write 2W. And there is my system of equations, and I'm going to use these to solve for my variables for length and width so that I can get those 2 answers. So now I'm looking at my system, and I notice that L is by itself. Okay, L is by itself, which tells me that L is going to get replaced in the other equation. So this L up here in the first equation is going to get replaced. And what am I going to replace it with? I'm going to replace L with 2W plus 4. So here's what it looks like. It's going to look like this. I'm going to say 2L plus 2W equals 94. Okay, so remember, I left a wide parentheses because I have to have room. I'm not just plugging in a number right now. I'm plugging in multiple numbers and a letter. So I'm going to replace it with 2W plus 4, because that is what L is equal to. And now I'm going to do my math. So now I need to say distribute. Do I have to distribute? Yes, I do. So I'm multiplying my 2W times 2 and my 4. So that's going to give me 4W plus 8. And then I'm going to bring down plus 2W equals 94. Okay, so now I need to combine like terms. So I've got 4W and 2W, so 4 plus 2 is 6. So I've got 6W plus 8 equals 94. I'm sorry, 68. I don't know where I got 94 from. Let me fix that real quick. I was thinking that didn't look right. Let me fix that. Because if I don't fix that, we're not going to get the right answer. 68. Okay. That's the correct perimeter, 68. And so now, after I've combined like terms, now I need to start moving things because these aren't like terms, so I can't divide yet. So I've got to move this 8, and I'm going to move it by subtracting 8 from both sides. So that's going to give me 6W plus 0, so that's going to be 6W is equal to 68 minus 8 is 60. And now to solve for W, I have to divide by 6 on both sides. And that's going to give me W has a value of 10. And I need to include my units of measurement, so it's equal to 10 centimeters. So I know that my width is 10 centimeters. That's what I'm saying it is right now. So now I'm going to use this answer to plug in and find the length. So the easiest equation to use is to use the L equals equation. So I'm going to say L equals 2, instead of W, I'm going to replace it with its answer now, plus 4. All right, so I'm going to plug in 10, and now I'm going to do the math. So I have to multiply, so 2 times 10 is 20, and then I'm going to add 4. So my length is 24, and we're measuring this in centimeters. So that is what I'm saying my two answers are, that I would get a length of 24 centimeters and a width of 10. But here's the deal. I have done a lot of math. I did math to write my system. I did math to solve it. And there could be a lot of places that I could make a mistake. So here's what I need to do. I need to plug my answers back in to make sure they work. I need to make sure that I'm going to get a perimeter of 68, and when I plug in my width, and I'm going to get a length of 24. So I'm going to say 2 times my length plus 2 times my width. Is that equal to 68? That checks out. And then I know that 2 times 10 plus 4, is that going to be equal to 24? And yes, so my two answers, 10 and 24, is going to work out, and I did find the dimensions of the rectangle.